Picture yourself 10 years from now, looking back and realizing your very first property move quietly cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Tough pill, right? What if the classic buy your own home first advice is actually the trap that slows you down? I hit that exact crossroad, and choosing investment first over PPOR is what built my 18 property portfolio. In the next few minutes, I'll show you why starting with an investment property, not your own home, can leave you around 140% ahead each year and years closer to financial freedom. I'm Rasti Vaibhav, buyer's agent and CFA. I've helped clients secure over $250 million in purchases. This is the exact approach I coach time-poor professionals to use with confidence. Here's a roadmap. We'll burst that debt dilemma, unpack Rentvesting, run a clean side-by-side numbers demo, show how LMI can speed you up, lock in the investor mindset, protect your borrowing power, and finish with a simple, practical blueprint you can copy today. Let's pull back the curtain on the great Australian dream. Is it building wealth or quietly tying you down? I've seen it up close. A mate at Brisbane bought the forever home, and within a year, surprise repairs and hidden fees wiped out his buffer. Great kitchen, but an empty emergency fund. Owning your place feels like freedom, security, pride, your rules. But the numbers tell a harder truth. 3 silent drains catch great people every year. First, holding costs, interest, maintenance, rates, and insurance. Second, transaction friction, stamp duty. Agents moving $40,000 to $60,000 can vanish on a round trip. Third, opportunity cost. That $100,000 deposit earning $0 income when it's locked in the lifestyle. Let's start with the upside. First, stability and control. Your space, your rules. Second, CGT-free PPOR growth. Potential gains are tax-free if criteria is met. Possible grants, stamp duty relief is also there. Third, forced savings. Every repayment builds equity over time. Good benefits, isn't it? But the wealth test is simple. Does this asset pay you or bill you? Let's look deeper. First, bad debt classification. Your home doesn't pay you, it costs you. No rental income, no tax deductions, just ongoing bills. Second, opportunity cost. That $100,000 deposit. It could be out there earning you money instead of sitting in bricks and mortar. Third, high transaction costs. If life throws you a curveball and you need to sell, just getting in and out of the market could cost you $50,000 or more. Money you'll never see again. Fourth, slow growth. Most people buy homes for lifestyle, not investment. That can mean slower growth compared to a property chosen purely for returns. Before you sign, ask, is this building my wealth or buying lifestyle? Run investment versus PPOR first on your numbers. Price the trade-offs and see your savings delta. So if the old way keeps you stuck, what's a smarter move? Here's how the 1% play the game. They invest first, then live where they want. It's called rentvesting. Most people assume buying to live is the only path. It isn't. But what if you could have the best of both worlds? Living where you want while your money works overtime somewhere else. Think of rentvesting like playing chess instead of checkers. Instead of rushing your first piece forward, you're setting up a strategy, using your money to control more of the board and positioning yourself for a bigger win. Take Sarah, for example. She wanted to live near the city but couldn't afford to buy there. So she invested in a high-growth suburb instead. Now, her investment is growing and she still gets to enjoy the lifestyle she loves. Here's why this move is so powerful. First, good debt and leverage. With an investment property, your debt is working for you. Imagine turning $60,000 into a $600,000 asset thanks to leverage. Your money is doing some serious heavy lifting. Second, tax benefits powerhouse. You get to claim deductions on interest, management fees, rates, maintenance, and even depreciation, keeping more money in your pocket at tax time. Third, flexibility in lifestyle. Rentvesting means you can live closer to work, friends, and the action without being tied down by a massive mortgage in the suburbs. You keep your freedom to move as life changes. Fourth, strategic location choices. You are not limited to buying where you want to live. You can pick the best growth areas anywhere in the country, chasing better returns. Of course, there are trade-offs. First, no CGT exemption. When you sell, you'll pay capital gain tax on your profit. Second, tenant or management risk. Sometimes you'll deal with vacancies, tricky tenants or property managers. Not always fun, but part of the game. Third, lack of stability. As a renter, you might face rent hikes or have to move if your landlord sells. So, is Rentvesting the right move for you? It comes down to whether you want to play the long game and use your money and your location strategically. Run a comparison on your situation, price the trade-offs, and decide with clarity. So we have seen how Rentvesting can set you up for strategic wins. But let's get specific. How much of a financial edge does starting with an investment property really give you? Most people think, sure, investing is smart, but does it really move the needle? Or is it just a few extra dollars here and there? Let's put it in black and white with two like-to-like profiles. Imagine Amar and Tanya at the starting line. Same age, same income, but Tanya's strategy gives her a turbo boost. Amar buys his own home. Every dollar he earns gets taxed before he pays his mortgage or any property expenses. Tanya, the investor, on the other hand, pays her property expenses, interest, depreciation, management fees before tax. She claims $38,400 in interest and $28,800 in depreciation. End result, Tanya ends up with $22,692 in annual savings, while Amar only saves $9,462. That's a 140% higher savings rate for Tanya. That's not just a small difference, it's a leap. That extra $13,000 a year could be your next deposit, your cash buffer, or your ticket to scaling up. Please note that these are illustrative figures only, not advice. Full assumptions are in the description, and for those who would like to refer to the full details, refer to the case study number 7 in my book, The Property Wealth Blueprint. The takeaway point is that if you want your money to work harder, look at how much you could save by investing first. Run your own numbers. See what tax deductions and savings you could unlock as an investor. So the numbers are clear. Now the question is how fast you can start. Most people stall at, I'll wait for 20% deposit. That delay is costly. Here's the lever that fixes it. Lender's mortgage insurance or LMI in short. Here's a myth that's costing people years. Wait for 20% to avoid LMI. Sounds responsible. But time in market beats timing. Paying about 2% LMI to start earlier can let growth, rent, and tax shields outpace the premium. Think of LMI as a toll road to the faster lane. Most people wait years to save a 20% deposit just to avoid LMI. But that wait comes at a cost. Lost time in the market. Plenty of investors start with smaller deposits. Use LMI and let time in the market do the heavy lifting. The lesson? Sometimes paying a small price like 2% LMI to get in sooner is worth it. Because time in the market beats timing the market. Speed without selection is just noise. If LMI gets you on the track sooner, the asset you choose is the steering wheel. Here's the investor mindset. Most people buy with their hearts, not their heads. Like picking a couch, not an investment. But true wealth, that's built with numbers, not feelings. But here's the catch. Succeeding as an investor isn't just about numbers, it's about mindset. Too many people treat property investing like buying a dream home, shopping with their heart, not their head. Think of investing like running a business, not decorating your living room. Roughly 1/10 of properties are truly investment grade. The rest are average. The best investors buy for their target market, not their own taste. Research is everything. Focus on infrastructure, demographics, and supply-demand data. Capital growth should be your main goal at first, not just cash flow. Choosing the right property, say 8% annual growth versus 4%, could mean $2.1 million more after 25 years. That's the power of buying with your head. So how do you apply this? Know your numbers, research like a detective, and always ask, is this property in the top 10% for investment? Before you buy, run the numbers on capital growth, check the area's fundamentals, and make sure you are buying for your future, not just your feelings. At this point, most people ask, will this hurt my chance of buying our forever home? Great question. Let's clear it up. Many fear that taking on investment debt will kill their borrowing power for a future home. But lenders see good debt differently. Think of it like having a side business that brings in steady income. It can actually help your case. After a year, lenders review your tax returns and often count around 75% of rental income in assessments. With quality assets, buffers, and clean management, your DTI, as in debt to income ratio, can stay healthy. Strategic investing can even strengthen your profile for that dream home loan. Handled right, your investments don't block your path. They actually pave it. So don't let fear of future borrowing stop you from starting now. Keep assets high quality and buffered, and structure loans sensibly. Done right, investing first can pave your path to the PPOR, not block it. For more tips on how to unlock your borrowing power, refer to this video. You have seen the numbers, the speed lever, the selection filter, and the borrowing truth. Now turn insight into a plan. Here's the hard truth. Most people never escape the 90% trap. They work for decades, pay down a mortgage and hope that's enough. But the 1%, the ones who own 5 or more properties, play by a different set of rules. Their secret, they start with income-producing assets, not just a place to live in. Think of Amy and John, who built a multi-property portfolio versus a couple who spent 20 years chipping away at the home loan. The difference wasn't luck. It was a plan they followed from day one. Right now, the gap isn't knowledge, it's execution. You need a strategist, broker, accountant, buyer's agent, and a clear plan that stacks the odds. If you try to DIY this, juggling the search of 15,000 plus suburbs, negotiating against pro agents, and building a scalable loan structure, you risk falling into the same traps as the 90%. Analysis paralysis, costly mistakes, and missed opportunities. That's why you need a custom plan, your own get-rare GPS. I help busy Australians skip the guesswork and move straight to strategic action. As your independent buyer's agent, I'll filter the noise, build your blueprint, and execute your purchase flawlessly, making sure your first or next investment property is the right one at the right price. Don't let procrastination become the habit that costs you years of compounding growth. If you're ready to move from hard work to having your money work for you, click the link in the description below to book your free one-on-one personalized strategy session with me. Your future self will thank you. Click now before the next opportunity passes. We'll review your situation, map your growth opportunities, and create your exact property strategy. Let's move you from wishing to winning. Like this content of this video? Like, share, and subscribe for more strategic advice, and I'll see you in the session.